Hi, my name is David, and I'm going to walk you through how I solved the CSWA practice problem 8.4. Well, the first thing is to notice that the units are IPS, which you might not be set into if you've been working through these problems. Typically, they've been mmGS. And so we'll want to set that. So let's do that first. Down here in the bottom right, we can select inches, pounds, seconds. And having gotten that out of the way, let's talk about how to create this. So the main body here is created by a sweep. And if we look at the sweep, we need a path and a profile. So the path we're going to use is this inner path because a lot of the dimensions are given from the inner path. And we're actually going to go all the way out to the end of this tombstone and then cut away the tombstone. When I first looked at this problem, I was seeing the end of the sweep right here, so right here, and I thought maybe the tombstone would be something that could be extruded out. But then if you look at this, it's hard to extrude out the tombstone because it's round in this dimension here. It's not flat in this dimension. We don't see a line right here or a curve. So that visual can tell you that this part of the tombstone is part of the circle of the sweep. So basically, we don't want to do an extrusion for the tombstone, although there are other ways of extruding it, but the way I approached it was to sweep all the way to the end of the tombstone and then start cutting away the tombstone. And then we also need to cut this part up here as well. Let's go ahead and start drawing the path of the sweep. All right, we're going to do this in the right plane. And we'll enter the line tool. We'll go down a little bit, create an arc. Oops, arc was not coming off in the right direction. There we go. And out and in, create another little arc. Okay, and then create a line. Try to lock it to the tangent so we don't have to put that tangent in later. And then another arc over to, say, around here. All right. So before we forget, let's lock the center of this arc to the origin and make this center vertical to the origin. Got to line everything up nice and vertical. Now, we can put these distances in, the 1.75 from the center of this arc to the center of this arc, and then the 0.45 center of this arc to the center of this bottom arc. Let's put those in. 1.75 and 0.45. Great, that stretches it up vertically pretty nicely. Now we can dimension these arcs. So this is 0.45, this is 0.35, and we got another 0.45, and we've got a 0.65. All right, looking good. Now one thing we can do is, or we want to do, is make the centers of these little arcs horizontal. So let's do that. This arc and this arc we want to be horizontal to each other. Another thing is that this point right here we can move up and down, but we want that symmetry to happen. So we want this arc and this arc to basically be symmetric. So one way of doing that is to take this point right here and make it horizontal to this point. So let's do that. All right, good. Now this can be stretched out a little bit, but that's okay. Another thing that we can do is set this point horizontal to this point over here. Let me show you in the picture. So it looks like the end of our path has a point right here that's symmetric to this point right here. Basically, the start and the end of this arc here should be horizontal to each other, just by symmetry and the way that the picture looks. So these 2 points will make horizontal. Looking pretty good. Now the one thing left is that we can grow and shrink this line. So we're going to have to figure out how, not how long this line is, but the distance from this point to this point, because that's basically the information we're given. But it's not quite completely that information, because we're given from this point to the center of this circle down here is 1.25. So we need to figure out this little distance right here. And let me zoom in a little bit. So this distance right here. So this distance right here is the radius of this arc. So then we can think, all right, what's the radius of that arc? Well, the diameter of the arc goes all the way across this carabiner right here, like a cross section of the carabiner, which would be this circle with diameter 0.3. So in other words, the diameter of this circle, the 0.3, is the same thing as the diameter of this arc, 0.3. So the radius then would be half of that, which is 0.15. So we can take the 1.25 minus the 0.15, and we'll get the distance from this point to this point here. Hopefully that made sense. All right, so this point to this point, not the vertical distance, but the actual distance between those two. And if you're having trouble between these different versions of the smart dimension, you can right click to lock it, so that way you can move your mouse anywhere and it'll still lock to that kind of distance dimension. And we will do 0.125 minus 0.15, hit enter, and great, now we're fully defined. So we've got our path. Now we're going to want to anchor the profile to some part of this path. And what I'm going to choose to do is to create this circle here, and anchor it to the bottom of this arc. And then we can sweep that circle to create the body in both directions. So we need a point on this arc, because it's not going to show up unless we create a point. At least I can't figure out how to make that point show up. So I'm going to create a point down here at the bottom of this arc so that we can have access to it later. So we'll go to point, and we'll place a point right there. You can see it's right there because of that asterisk. All right, so now we can exit the sketch, double click somewhere, see what we've got here. Looking good. So let's create a sketch in the right plane for our profile. Sorry, the front plane for our profile. All right. So all we have to do is create a circle with diameter 0.3. We want this to be vertical to the origin, and we want this circle to be coincident to that point, the bottom of that arc. So coincident. All right, now it's locked into place. We're fully defined there. We can exit the sketch at this point. So there's our path. There's our profile that we're going to move along this path. We can select both, so do a shift select, and then we can do swept boss base. Now it's only going in this direction, so we can right click and do bidirectional to make it go in both directions, or you can click on this middle icon here. Hit enter, and now we've got the main body for our carabiner. So now let's look at trying to cut away this part here and this part here. What I ended up doing, I'm sure there are many ways of doing this, I ended up from the right plane offsetting it a little bit. So let me go back to the sketch here. So from the right plane, which is right here, offsetting it a little bit, offsetting it half of 0.1, so that I create a plane right here, and then creating a shape to be able to cut away all of this side, and then mirroring that to cut away the other side. And basically cutting away both the top and the bottom parts, both this part and this part, cutting those away at the same time. Okay, so let's first create our reference plane. So we can select the right plane, go to reference geometry plane, and then do 0.1 divided by 2, which is 0.05. Hit enter, and now we've got a plane that we can put a sketch in to help cut that stuff away. All right, so here's the sketch we're going to do. We're going to create a line right here that goes to the other side. Oops, I think I didn't quite get it coincident, so let me try that again. So we want it coincident to this line, and we want to make sure that it's coincident and perpendicular to the other line. Looking good. Then we'll just come up here and make sure that we have this horizontal line for this cutaway up here ready as well. And then we can come back over here. This shape is not going to be fully defined the way we're doing it here. It feels a little bit hackish. If you really wanted to, you could probably do some convert entities to bring these edges into this sketch and then work from there. And that may be a more precise way and maybe a better way to do it. But for a quick and dirty way, we can just create some kind of polygon that's going to do what we want. All right, so let's make sure that this is parallel to this right here. It should be because we made this perpendicular to this line over here, but let's just double check, make sure these are parallel, and make sure that we get this dimensioned right. So let's come back over here to the picture. Okay, so we want to start cutting right here, and then so that distance from here to here, let's see, how far do we have to cut in here? All right, well, it's going to be 0.15 from here to the center of this circle. And then we already talked about how from the center of the circle out to this edge is another 0.15. So it's 0.3 from here to here. All right, so we'll dimension that. From here to here is 0.3. All right, 0.15 to the center of the circle and another 0.15 to the edge, the end of the carabiner. Okay, so that's going to cut away the correct amount of length from there. Let's make sure it's cutting the correct amount of length from here. Let's look back at the diagram. So it looks like the distance from that horizontal cut down to this center of the arc right here is 1.75. So, but if we don't have access to the center of that arc, what we can do is go all the way down to the origin. So from here down to the origin is 1.75 plus 0.45. So we could use that. Okay. So this line down to the origin, 1.75 plus 0.45. Okay, and then that is in a good place. So at this point, here's what we've got. We've got our plane in the right place. We've got the part that we want to cut out. So now we can do an extruded cut. Not in that direction, we want to go the other direction and cut away that part on both the top and the bottom. All right, we can do a through all cut at this point. So we'll hit enter and see how that cut it away. Now we want to do the same thing, but on the other side of the right plane. So let's take the right plane. We'll take the cut extrude, we'll mirror it about the right plane. And now we're going to get a cut on the other side of the right plane. Perfect. Okay, it's looking pretty good. So this top is all done. This part we need to make that tombstone and the cutaway and then the hole. So let's take this face right here and start doing a sketch to make that tombstone. All right, so one thing is we're going to have a circle, and just for a helpful point of reference, let's draw a center line from the midpoint here to the midpoint right here. That'll probably help out when we're drawing that circle. Now we talked about that the center of the circle is going to be right in the center here. So, and the diameter of the inner circle is 0.15. All right, let's go back to the picture for a second here. So the distance from here to here is 0.15. The distance from here to here is 0.15, like we talked about before. So the center is right in the middle, right at the midpoint of that center line that we just drew. So we drew this inner circle. Let's draw this arc as well. All right, so we'll draw the arc. Now, to get the endpoints of the arc, it'd be nice to have a little perpendicular line that's going through here. So actually, let's do that. Let's make a center line going from here, perpendicular out to, actually we can just go out to here. That's totally fine. Let's actually go all the way out. Let's jump out. Yeah, we'll do that. That's fine. Okay, so now we can create an arc from here to another point along this line, and the radius of that arc is going to be 0.15. Now we want this to be coincident to the outer part right here, so we'll make that coincident. That should probably automatically make this one coincident as well. Let me make sure that that is, and if it's not, then it didn't lock to that line, that center line. So let's go ahead and make this one coincident to, oops, to this edge here. All right, and it looks like our center line was not quite the way we wanted it to be. So we'll make sure that this center line is perpendicular to this other center line here. I guess it was just a guide perpendicular rather than an actual relation that was set up. Okay, so now this is looking pretty good, and this one is already kind of taken into account as well. So looking pretty good. Let's see. It doesn't look like it's fully defined, so let's see what else we can drag around. Oh, do we make the center of this arc this equal to the center of this one? I don't think we did, so let's make sure. Nope, it's overdefined. Okay, anyway. All right, so it's looking pretty good. There's probably something more we could do to make it fully defined, but we'll go with this. So let's go ahead and do an extruded cut. And we'll select this to cut out first. We'll do through all, looking like it's going in the right direction. Hit enter. And then we'll select the sketch. We'll do another extruded cut. But this time we're going to choose the arc. And we'll go ahead and make that cut. And at this point, it's looking pretty good. I'm going to hide this plane that we created. I think that's about it. So we've got a volume of 0.51 cubic inches. Let's go check. 0.51 cubic inches. Awesome. All right, well, I hope this video was helpful. Take care and keep studying.